Question 9. The polynomial 6x cubed plus ax squared plus bx plus 9 is denoted by p of x, where a and b are constants. It is given that x minus 3 is a factor of p of x, and when the first derivative p prime of x is divided by x minus 3, the remainder is 72. Find the values of x and b. Now, we always have the polynomial given as get the divisor, then times the quotient, then plus the remainder. Now, if the value of the divisor here is substituted and it gets this one to a 0, okay, and it cancels this one, that means the value of x that you have put here, that comes from the divisor. Now the p of that value of x gives us the remainder. That is the factor remainder theorem. If it's a factor, then the remainder is a 0. Okay, so meaning if I get this one and I equate it to 0, so if x is equal to 3, then I'll have p of 3 then shall be equal to, get this whole thing, you substitute, so that will be 6 then 3 cubed plus a then 3 squared plus b times 3 then plus 9. So I've substituted in this one. Now since it is a factor, this whole thing goes, then we remain with the remainder, which remainder will be 0. Okay, so this one will be equivalent to 0. Now 3 cubed is 27 times 6. This one will give us 162, and then plus this one will be 9 of a, then plus 3b plus 9, which is equal to 0. Now this and this, when you add them, they will give us 171. Okay, then I can divide all through by 3 to simplify that. So that means I will have here 3a then plus a b, and then this one will give us a 57. So when it crosses, it will be negative 57. Okay, simplified equation. You can leave it like this, this plus this then is equal to the negative 171. It's up to you. Okay, then the next one, I need to differentiate because they said p prime, that's a derivative. So p of x is equal to the 6x cubed plus ax squared plus b of x then plus 9. Then when you differentiate this one here, it is going to give us 18x squared plus 2ax then plus b. Now we are going to put again x is equal to 3. Okay, x is equal to 3 there. Then we are getting 18 3 squared plus 2a times 3 then plus b. Then we shall equate to the remainder, which is 72. Okay, 72. Now 3 squared is 9. Now 9 times 18. Now 18 is the same as 6 times 3. So it is like the same as this one here. So we shall have 162, then plus 6 of a, then plus b, which is equal to 72. I can also simplify this one here. This will be 6a plus b. When I take this one this side, 72 minus 162, we shall get negative 90. So negative 90. That is the second equation. So I have this one here and this one here, which I'm supposed to solve simultaneously. Okay, so solving 1 and 2 simultaneously, you can actually just get this one here and you subtract the first one here to do away with b. See, so when I subtract here, I will get 3a, but then this one disappears. Then negative 90 minus 57. This one is a plus. So this one will give us 33. Yes, that one will give us 33. Because 33 is the one you add to 57 to give you 90. It will be a negative. And then a when you divide all through by 3, you will get negative 11. Then I can substitute in any of those two equations to get the value of b. So b can be equivalent to, maybe use this one here, negative 57, then minus 3 of a, which a is negative 11. So this is negative 57, then plus 33. Okay, 57 minus 33, that one will give us a 24, but it will be a negative here because 57 is the big number with the negative. So the answers are those ones, a, negative 11, and then b, negative 24. Then part b, when a and b have the values found in part a, factorize p of x completely. Now, we have our p of x, which is equal to 6x squared, then plus, it was plus ax squared, so it is minus 11 x, pardon me here, this one's cubed, then minus 11 x squared, then minus the 24 of x plus 9. So we are supposed to factorize this completely. We have seen already that x minus 3 is a factor. So we can divide this by this factor here. Okay. You can do that using long division or the synthetic approach. So we can have, this is x minus 3, and then this is 6x cubed minus the 11x squared minus the 24 of x plus 9. You divide the first with the first, and then the others you multiply. This divide by x, you will get 6x squared. So I will get 6x squared here, then now multiply. So we shall still get 6x cubed, and then negative 3 times this one, it will give us negative 18x squared. Then when we subtract, negative 11, then plus 18, because the minus and the minus is a plus. And then that one will give us a 7. Okay, so I will write a 7x squared here, then drop these 2, minus 2, 4x, then plus 9. Then this one divided by the x, you will get 7x. Okay, and then now get this, multiply all through. So we shall get 7x squared, the negative 3 times 7, that's negative 21 of x. Then you subtract, so negative 24 minus 21. Don't you think this one is a plus? So negative 24 plus 21, that one will give us a negative 3. So we shall have a negative 3 of x, then drop the 9 here. Now this one here, divide by x, you will get a negative 3. So I'll write a negative 3 here, then the whole of this times the negative 3. So we shall get negative 3x and then a plus 9. So you see that when we subtract, it goes. So that means the answers we got for A and B were correct. Now, after this simply implies, or you can use the synthetic approach. Okay, let me show it to you alternatively. But in the exam, don't write alternatively, no, use one. So I can write the coefficients of these terms here. So we can have 6, there is negative 1, 11, then negative 24, then there is 9. Now, if, let's say we didn't have x squared and it was 6x cubed, then 24, and this one time is skipped, then we shall write its coefficient here as a 0. You don't skip it. The coefficient there is a 0. Okay. Now, we are using x is equal to 3. So I write it here, x is equal to 3. Then I put a line here, and then slide this 6 down here. Now you say 6 times 3, you get 18. So you write it down here, below the second one. Now you add these 2. When you add those ones, you get a 7. Then now you say this one times 3, you get 21. So you write it under this one. you add the 2, you get a negative 3. Then this times this, you will get a negative 9. You write it here. Then when you add those two, you get a 0. Usually what is here is the remainder. Okay, is the remainder. And you have seen that we are having the remainder as a 0, implying x minus 3 was a factor of that. Then here, the quotient. Now, since we are dividing, this one was x cubed. Now it reduces by the power of this one. Reduces by 1, so it goes to power 2. Now this one is the coefficient of x squared. So I write x squared. Then this will be x, the next one in line. And then this one will be the constant part, which is the same as this one here. That is the quotient. So meaning I'm going to have my p of x, which is equal to x minus 3. And then times this 6x squared plus 7x minus 3. Okay. Then we are supposed to factorize this one here fully. So the product is 6 times negative 3, that is negative 18. Then two numbers, when we multiply them, they give us negative 18, but when we add them, they give us a 7 here. Of course, that would be a 9 and negative 2. Okay. Now that means we are going to have x minus 3. Then in here, we shall have 6x squared. Where there is x, I'm going to put 9 and negative 2. So we shall have plus 9x, then minus the 2 of x, then minus the 3. Now, this one is split from the 3 terms. We have gotten 4 terms, so I can split this one into 2. And then I factorize here and then here. So we are going to have this one here as x minus 3. Then what is common here is 3x. So 3x is common. And then inside here we shall have 2x, then plus 3. So you don't waste time. Just open the brackets and you put 2x plus 3 here. Okay, then you ask yourself, what should I multiply with 2x to get negative 2x here? It will be a negative 1. So that means here we put a negative 1. And actually when you open, it gives you the negative 3 here. So meaning altogether, our p of x is going to be x minus 3. And then here, what is common is 2x plus 3. Then here we are left with 3x. So I will write the 3x here. And then here we are left with negative 1. So p fully factorized is this one here. Then they are saying that hence sort of the inequality, this one here. Now that means we are going to have x minus 3 here into 2x plus 3, then 3x minus 1, and then say less than 0. Now you don't say this one less than 0, this one is also less than 0, just like the way you solve equations. No, we have to get the boundary points. When I equate this one to 0, I'll get a 3. When I equate this one to 0, I'll get negative 3 over 2. And then here I'll get a third. So I can do a small sketch here of this one. So the sketch is going to be, since this is a cubic, we expect it to cut the axis 3 times. Okay, to cut the x-axis 3 times. Now we have negative 3 over 2, which is this side. Then we have a third, and we also have 3 here. Okay, now we need to know, is it going like this or it comes like this? Okay, now in between, let us just see. This is how you do it. In between this one here, the negative 3 over 2 and a third, pick a value there. We can pick a 0. So when I put a 0 wherever x is, okay, wherever x is, and I substitute in here, that means this whole thing is going to go, and then we remain with the 9, which is a positive. So that means the curve is above. Okay, the curve is above these two, like it is above x-axis in between the two. Okay, so already here it cuts it at 1. It doesn't necessarily mean that maybe let me just draw it like this, but where it cuts the y-axis is at 9. Okay, and then of course now in between these two it has to be below. Okay, it will be like that. Now in between we have to look at a region, this region in between here, in between here, and in between here. Those are the 4 regions. So this curve goes like this. So this is negative. It continues to be a negative. As you get the x values here, this one is continuing to go down. Okay, and then in between here, this one is positive, which is above, then here it is negative, which is below, and then here it is that. But we need regions where it is less than 0, where it is a negative. Then we can conclude that it is here and then here. So this is going to be our answer. X is less than negative 3 over 2, or a third less than x less than 3. So those are going to be our answers.